Hello, folks. This is Corey Hind with a quick training that I think will be really useful for your business. It's called What Not to Do on Social Media. This video is for pretty much anybody, but I've done it really for some of my clients because I think we need to get updated on how to use social media and get traction and grow our business using all of these different platforms that we know and love or sometimes hate. Like it or not, social media is still important in business. It's something that drives lots of leads and sales for pretty much every business around, and it's changing all the time. We know that the algorithms change. You'll hear that word algorithm. We know that what used to work might not work now. So, this is a short update on things to avoid and things to do more of based on extensive data and research. So these are just tips that I want you to think about with your own social media and wherever that is for you. You might be on Facebook and LinkedIn, you might be on Twitter, you might be on Instagram. I'm not sure. It's different for every business. But suffice to say that these four things to not do are 100% accurate. I've discussed these with loads of other marketers. The 6 things that you should do are also very, very useful. So let's get into it, and then hopefully you can start applying these thoughts to your social media, because at the end of the day, people are still on social media for hours per day. And if you're running a business and you want more leads, more sales, you've got to be there as well somewhere. So the first thing is hashtags. So at some point, maybe 5 years ago for Twitter, for example, hashtags were huge. Facebook and LinkedIn as well, hashtags started to take hold. However, they no longer work. Okay, sometimes people might use them to search for things that are trending or certain topics on Twitter and Instagram in particular, but hashtags do not work on LinkedIn. They do not work on Facebook in particular. So don't use hashtags. In fact, I think that hashtags push your content down in the algorithm. They're not even a zero anymore, they're a negative signal. So don't use hashtags. Yes, they worked before, they no longer work. So take hashtags off the agenda when you're posting on social media, in particular Facebook and LinkedIn. The next thing, and this is an absolute killer, links or URLs in your social media posts, they do not work. People still do it because I think the thinking from those people is, well, I need to share my content. I don't have time to recreate it, repurpose it. Maybe it's time, maybe it's old habits, but the data is absolutely clear. This is undebatable. Putting links inside of, for example, a link to your blog post or a YouTube video inside of a Facebook post will definitely kill the reach on that post. You've got to stop doing that and stop doing it now. It simply doesn't work. There are big bloggers and people on social who still do this, and I truly think it's just because that's what they've always done. But the data is really obvious. And if you think about it, why would Facebook want to push a post of yours that's linking to YouTube or somewhere else? Facebook and all of these social media giants, their job is really to keep you on their platform as much as possible. So trying to ask somebody to leave the platform is the exact opposite of why they exist. So I'm sure you can see that that makes sense, and the data is really clear for me. I've analyzed this extensively. Anyone using links inside of a social media post gets terrible engagement. The next one, inconsistency. Of course, as we just said before, all of the platforms want you to be there as much as possible. That's what they do. That's their job, is to keep you looking at them so they can sell advertising space. They love consistency. They hate inconsistency. So if you're only posting once in a while, you're just not going to get results, and you will probably start to think, well, this platform's not for us, and you'll start to look elsewhere. How about think of it this way? Find out who your best customers are, where they most often are, and then decide that that's your main place and get consistent. Post every day for a month and get better at posting and see what happens. because all of the algorithms that run the platforms reward consistency. Ask any marketer, any social media marketer, any YouTuber, any blogger. Consistency is a great thing. If you can't do it because of time, set up some automations or systems. Use something like Publer, which is a social media tool. There's about 50 of these social media tools. They're very useful and they save you time. So consider doing that. The next one, this is point 4 of the things to not do, is the same old, same old. Don't just keep posting the same stuff. Okay, we're trying to compete with people's attention. They're looking to do other things and get entertained and educated. You can't just keep posting the same old stuff. Okay, so get creative. Talk to your customers, talk to your staff, research other businesses. What are they doing? So you can get out of that rut of doing the same stuff over and over again. These next 6 points are things you should do to enhance your social media for your business. Consistency. I've mentioned it before, the algorithms love consistency. So get in there. I think for most small businesses, you're going to have one social media platform that stands out as your best place to be, that gets you your best customers. Let's say, for example, that's Facebook. And you've said, okay, that's our most important place for this business, for our customers. You need to get there every day if you can, and at least 3 or 4 times a week. If you can't, then I would suggest you need to find a way to make that happen, like outsourcing it. If you need some recommendations, I know loads of people who do social media as a job. So let me know and I can connect you with somebody. But you can't ignore that main place. I say to people, look, you've got to use email, you've got to use paid ads, you've got to use SEO, you've got to get people to your website. You've also got to use social media, at least 1 or 2 platforms. So find the best ones for you and get consistent. The algorithms love it. The next thing that does work is good old-fashioned storytelling. Humans have always told stories. We use words to tell stories, whether that's spoken word or written word. Once we hear a good story, we tell that story to somebody else. Once we hear a good joke, we tell that joke to somebody else. We share stories. That's what we do. So written content on social media platforms does work if it's interesting. If somebody finds something interesting, they're going to read it. So what can you write that's interesting and memorable about your business that helps people in some way? The next one is video. We know that video works. All of the platforms are starting to look at those TikTok reels and shorts and video. Every time there's an update to a social media platform, they seem to emphasize video more. So how can you use video in your business? Find a way. Usually, some businesses, you can just shoot little videos with your phone straight into your social media platforms. Really easy to do. Phones these days have incredible cameras. They can make incredible videos all within your phone. So consider doing that. The next one is photos. What about before and after? You might run a business that has a transformation that somebody goes through, or a vehicle, for example, gets transformed, or a property gets transformed, or somebody's wardrobe gets transformed. Heck, a photo of somebody's before and after haircut. Is there a way to use photos more in your business? You can't even use Instagram without photos. So photos are very important. A picture tells 1,000 words. You've heard that before. So consider, how can we use photos? We will look around as an SEO agency for photos anywhere about that business and use it on their website. We'll use it on their Google Business Profile because we know that photos are powerful. Right. The last point is, there's 2, interesting stuff. Now, this point is, look, at the end of the day, people have gone to social media for some education or some entertainment. This is not a place to stick an ad that just says, buy my stuff. You've got to somehow be interesting and social. You've got to somehow find a way to pique people's interest and get them looking at your stuff going, oh, that's interesting and different. So look around, do some research, see what other industries are doing, and see what ideas you can morph for your own business. And the last one is really anything engaging. I look at competition to the businesses I help, and I look at what the competitors are doing that gets comments and shares. I'm very interested in comments and shares because all of the social media platforms really reward the content that gets comments and shares. So I'll research the competition, I'll get clients to research their opposition, I'll get them to research other industries and go, hey, look at their last 100 posts. Which got the most comments and shares? How can I use that information to kickstart our social media? So that video is done. Hopefully, that's going to help you out. I'm just going to reiterate the 4 things to avoid one more time. Avoid hashtags in your social media. Avoid links and URLs in your social media. Don't be inconsistent. That's a killer as well. And please don't do the same old, same old. You've got to get creative. All right. Now, if you need any help with this stuff, just comment below. I'm happy to talk to you about this stuff. It's really important. And at the end of the day, I want you to win in business. And I believe that this will help you do that. All right, guys, we'll talk later. Bye for now.